Coach, we have a damp and rainy afternoon in the tri-state area as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium in the Garden State of New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Come on. 58, come on. Coming to you, coming to you. Back.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. A beautiful span and room to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Darnold. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bell. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. This is caught. That one goes for 24 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Bell. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. To throw is Darnold toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Here we go. 180. baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Wild Bill. Wild Bill.
12, fellas. Here we go.
Flare.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. This is fielded at the 27. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get them. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it.
Let's go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go. 6.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's caught. It's Coleman.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Two.
Garoppolo now. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the pass. Ready.
Darnold from the gun. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Here we go. I got you.
Right there.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
12.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Quick throw going to be caught by Foster. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
24-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's got his big tight end, Fant, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Here's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. A sack there by Trent Murphy. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now it's Darnold. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Noah Fant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Here we go,
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Marcus May with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Looking to throw on second down. Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken very short. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now this throw caught left side, and they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Garoppolo. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I got to get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
1st down, Bills.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I got you. Let's put that team on the hook.
Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Let's get it. 58's the mic. 58's the mic.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, that kind of catch is supposed to pay off with at least a first down, isn't it?
Instead, he'll just add it to his highlight reel, but they don't pick up the first.
Yeah, he gets the yardage, he gets the catch, but now they have a decision to make.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Again, it's Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Off of play action, Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for New York. On the return, it's White. 12 yards on the return that time.
At their own 36-yard line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He's letting this one go. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills get a bit closer.
Let's go, defense.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
Let's go. Let's go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bell, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Here we go, set.
51's the mic. Hey, I'm coming.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Jets on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Faking the give. Darnold. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for New York. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
Hey, come on.
Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. He'll let it go deep for Foster. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. The Bills on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Hey, I-7.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What do you...
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell, 85 yards. And the Jets will extend their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check, lock, big.
They will run again with Coleman. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Calling a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Marcus May with a pick. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And Darnold wants to throw the football. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Here's Coleman. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. It's 2nd and goal back to the 8-yard line now.
Two. Defense wins championships, baby. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go.
Hey, Charlie.
54 is Mike. 54. Check. Watch 54. Watch.
One final try now for Garoppolo. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy